So thank you all for being here for our topic on reopening after COVID-19. We're going to go through a series of questions to see how everyone's handling this pandemic and reopening across the country. So I figured we'd start with everyone introducing themselves, where they're located. Peter, if you want to go first.
Guys, Peter Roberti here from Adrian Jewels. We are located right here in Rochester. Myself, my father, and our sales team. Everything's been great. It's been an interesting few weeks, but we're very fortunate that everyone's here and healthy, and look forward to this talk.
Great, and Chris.
Hi, my name is Christopher Schaefer. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. Our shop is currently closed still and has been for about 2 months.
Mark?
Hi, good morning. My name is Mark Streisand. I have shops in Providence, Rhode Island, and Newport, Rhode Island, and I also have a by appointment only showroom in Boston, Massachusetts.
And Jeff?
Hi, my name's Jeff Landis. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I own Montopoli Custom Clothiers, a Benchmade clothier since 1945, let's say. And I have been operating. Everything we do is by appointment, so it's there's no walk-in traffic, let's say.
Great. So on that note, Jeff, first question that I wanted to ask is, how have you been keeping your customers engaged during this pandemic?
Well, we were kind of lucky because first off, we got a great clientele. They understand what's going on. These are smart people. And, fortunately, the beginning of March, I booked a fair amount of business. But from there, I've been sending out fabrics to people. One thing that I've found that's a big motivator is putting a return label in the box when you send people fabrics. Otherwise, they're just going to sit on somebody's desk. It's like you'll call them a week later and say, "Hey, did you see those fabrics?" It's like, well, I haven't looked at it yet. So, putting a return label, I think is probably key. But aside from that, we've been booking some business that way, as well as I've gone on a couple of appointments. So, yeah.
Has anyone else done something differently than sending out fabrics and seeing clients at their homes?
Well, yeah, I mean, a little differently than Jeff's business is, we're a Benchmade tailor as well as we use other CMT houses. But we also have retail stores, and albeit we just opened up this past week, a week ago today, what we've been doing that's been very, very successful for us is doing lots of video work. It's not something that I've ever done before. I've always talked about doing it, but my 17-year-old daughter really pushed me to get out there in front of the camera and did lots of fun, educational, but more fun videos than anything else. As I mentioned before, in some of these other panel discussions, is I haven't been really into buying, and I'm a real consumer. I like stuff, toys, like most men. And I know when I'm not in the mood, the majority of my clientele is similar to me. So what I tried to do is just have some fun with them. The other thing that we did, just to create a little, I guess, consciousness about our situation, is we re-engineered everything that we did to make surgical masks and PPE equipment. And we did a lot for the local community here. Providence is very, very small, and we have about 6 hospitals. So we supplied them about 4,000 surgical masks over the time. And that really did nicely with goodwill and good karma, so to speak, with our clientele. They were very, very thankful. We got beautiful notes from them, both written and also email, saying that we're the kind of company they want to continue to support going forward. So we really just tried to keep top of mind with them more than anything else. We had our first appointments this past week. We had 2, which is more than I expected to have. And they all converted to purchasing, which was fantastic. but I'm getting in the mood to buy again. I just ordered new golf clubs. So, my mindset's starting to change. I think, people are getting tired of being at home, and therefore they're going to start feeling very much similarly to me, and they're going to want to start coming out and getting some new stuff.
And Mark, when you mentioned you're doing some video work, what platforms have you been releasing those videos on?
Anything social media that I could possibly find is, in addition to, we send everything out MailChimp. So, LinkedIn, Google, not Google, Instagram, Facebook. We even did it out on Twitter. And then also we sent a mailing out to all of our clients, just to show them the videos, and again, it was me in my rawest form. Most of my clients never get to see me on a Sunday, which is my one day off, without a jacket on, let alone a tie like Jeff has. And, I came in literally sweatpants and a baseball cap backwards. And I just had a good time with them, kind of saying, hey, this is what we're up to doing. And people really enjoyed seeing another part of me that they don't normally get a chance to see.
Great. And Peter and Chris, how have you guys been keeping your customers engaged? Have you been using social media as like Mark?
Yeah, we have. And I forgot to say earlier, we have a shop. Our main shop is in Baltimore, but our other one is in Los Angeles. My oldest son is in Los Angeles, and they were shut down faster than we were in Baltimore. And it's looking like the lockdown there is going to last longer than it is here. So I'm kind of seeing it on both coasts and watching what's happening with a lot of people, especially in the New York area, because Baltimore seems to be like right behind them and what's, the curve of what's happening. But yeah, we've taken the approach. We always take the approach of keeping the video stuff and everything fun and kind of giving it its own feel to it, because it's not a sales environment right now. It's one of those things where, being mindful of other people, because there's a lot of people right now that are they're not working. So yeah, we've been having a good time with it though. We just had pro skateboarders going skateboarding through our place and jumping off our cutting tables and all kinds of stuff that we just did video on recently, and keeping it a good time, and also having these, doing these posts that are saying, this is where we are, this is what's going on, and, and how we're working through this, because, it just hit 2 months for us here, which is just crazy to think about. But, yeah, that's how we've been handling it.
Great.
Yeah, kind of just to piggyback off of what everybody said, we really took the approach of, I think that a lot of guys and clients, have the ability to be engaged. So we've really embraced technology and really used the platforms that we have to connect with clients. One of the things we found that was really successful was the idea about enticing and helping clients and pushing them to clean out their closet, and then taking that clothes in and donating it to Goodwill. It got, interaction with clients, and it's really has started to snowball and really get clients in the mood to go through their closet and find gaps that they're missing. So that approach has really worked out really well for us. So that's one of the things that we've been doing to engage with our clients.
Well, I got to kind of jump in here, because I'd like to hear a little bit more about this and how you talked to them about, pulling the trigger and actually getting them to clean out their closet. Because, I think one of the things we're up against is these are very busy people, and they don't respond to you sometimes as quickly as you'd like to. So I think that when you get in front of somebody, that's your one shot to hit them and hit them hard.
We did it just through an email blast, text message, and social media. And then it got guys, we sent them out messages, and they did it on their own time. And they actually we've gotten bags and bags of clothing.
Wow.
Brought into the showroom to be donated. And some of those meeting outside have, or else virtually, have resulted in purchases.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it's been really good for us, and it feels good to donate the clothes.
Yeah.
So
One
for
of the
those
things
that
that-
have been selling, whether it's reopening back up or house visits, how has the experience been? Has it been different than kind of pre this pandemic?
Well, like I said, first off, if you're calling people, you got to call everybody. It's nice to be in contact with everybody because, we deal in a very personalized business. And if anything, it's just getting in front of that customer, letting them know that you're on their team and, seeing if there's any interest whatsoever. With that said too, these are kind of skittish people too. So when you get in front of somebody or when you get somebody on the phone, this is, really important just to be able to walk the line, because you don't want to actually push them so that way you look like an ass, but you also want to be actively selling too, which is, a very tricky proposition. With that said too, you have one shot. You're probably not going to talk to them for, a good few weeks. So, it's touchy, I would say, and I think, some of the things that Mark's talking about sound good from the standpoint of, you just get everything just slammed into your head about this disease. And I think, if anything, let's avoid even talking about it. Obviously you're going to be taking all the precautions, but you've just heard so much about this. It's like, it's time to start open up and move on a little bit.
Jeff, if I can add to what you're saying is, I agree with you in a large respect. Everyone is always afraid of the fear of the unknown, right? I mean, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are we going to get, is it going to reoccur? I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get my clients sick. If I get somebody sick and they trace it back to me, are they going to close me? There's all this that's going on. And, I know that all of us need to get back to business because our lives depend upon it. But I think, as someone who's I've looked at the entire country, and I'm a data person. I like to see what the data says. And so, in Rhode Island, we haven't had any flux. It has been since, I would say, week 3, it has been 10 people dying a day, 245 people, affected with this disease. Now, Rhode Island has just about 1 million people, maybe 995,000, something very, very tiny, which is smaller than most of the cities, definitely smaller than Chicago. But I think about if 10 people are dying every single day since 6 weeks ago, granted, it's not a ton of people. I understand that, and I don't want to trivialize that at all. If it were me or my family members or my mother who's, elderly, I'd be devastated. And I think being a friend right now is much more important than being a salesman. Mm-hmm. And every phone call that I've had with people has not been about clothing whatsoever. Again, just like, my country club that I belong to, they're not calling me to say, hey, I want you to come take a lesson because we're open now. They're saying, hey, how you doing? What's happening? Are you feeling well? Have you been stretching out? Have you been taking care of yourself? So we've been really trying to push that. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And on the heels of what Peter was saying, cleaning out your closet is a huge way to take care of yourself. Yeah. We've also suggested that. I did a video of me completely gutting my closet. And as you can imagine, like most of you guys, there's 100,000 things inside of that place. But now that it's all neat and organized, kind of like how my store is merchandised, or Jeff, like I'm looking at your shop behind you, it's meticulous. Mm-hmm. I know that my closet is not meticulous. And, when the first thing I do when I wake up every day is I make my bed, only because I say I can get something done. I've accomplished something. But when I look into my closet, and it looks like the rest of my life that's in shambles because of this stupid virus. And now I go look at it and it's clean. It gives me the impetus to feel better, not only about I've accomplished something, but I feel better about myself. It gets my mood better. So again, going back to take care of yourself, you know, just like on an airplane, Jeff, like when the little, you know, the steward or stewardess, I guess you're not supposed to say it, a flight attendant, I should say, comes on there and says, you know, if there's, in case of there's cabin pressure loss, put your mask on first, meaning take care of yourself first, then take care of the person next to you.
Yeah.
You got to do the same for yourself. And listen, you've been doing this for a lot longer than I have, obviously. I've been doing this for almost 30 years, but you know, you've had your family business, I guess, since 1945. You know how to take care of your clients. They're going to come back to you. But it's like, how are you taking care of yourself so that they can see you leading by example?
Feels good to organize and declutter and to purge. And when you realize you might not have as many things as you want, it might make you want to buy more, you know, fill it back up a little bit.
You know, we're sending booze. You're not supposed to in Rhode Island, but I bought $1,000 worth of little nips, you know, scotch and bourbons and vodkas and whatnot. Yeah. And I sent it in boxes and, you know, with a cute little note, hey, when you're ready to do your closet, I'm here to help you, but let's have a drink while we do it. And, you know, I've gotten 4 people to say, oh my God, that's such a fun idea. We can get drunk and virtually drink together and hang out like we did at the shop, so to speak. And I'm sure, Jeff, that I mean, with the look of this atelier that you have there, you must have a great bar.
So, Mark, I'm interested when you have done these videos, because you did one with you cleaning the closet. What video have you had the most response to?
Honestly, the donation of the masks. So I went around and I videotaped me donating masks to the Rhode Island National Guard and all the hospitals. I got over 50,000 views on LinkedIn. I don't get that kind of viewage on anything, but it really resonated with people, you know, and it has enhanced the following, or I don't know, viewership, followship. I don't even know if that's the right word. But people have signed into our Instagram much more frequently. They've gone onto our Facebook page much more often. They follow me on LinkedIn. Those little things that doing for the society has been really, for me, mentally good when I was feeling crappy. And I hope and believe that it's going to be good for me professionally as well.
Great. Yeah. Peter, I know that we've also done Adrian Jules masks. How has that been for you and your clientele? And how have you, helped the community with the masks?
Yeah, the masks have been awesome. It's kind of a, there's actually some prospects that were prospects of mine had also reached out about inquiring about the masks, which I believe that will, kind of lead to, some new business down the road. But making the masks, our factory, the wholesale team, Alexa and the team over there has been making masks, and it's been awesome. It's great, been great publicity. And I think it's going to help lead to some new business down the road. From an engagement standpoint, in terms of customers, this weekend was kind of our first curbside retail weekend, and we built on the side of our building. We built a tent that has a beautiful floor. It's got some nice lounge seating in there. Basically, an outdoor selling area, and it's awesome. It's beautiful. It reminds me of like a clubby lounge area. That's kind of our curbside retail. And, we're hoping that, and we're thinking that guys feel more comfortable being outside, because they're in the open and they feel comfortable, they feel a little bit more comfortable that it's not, it's fresh air going. So to be determined how it's going to work out, but I think it's going to work out really nicely.
We did the same thing.
Oh, cool.
It's a again, guys, they want to hang. I mean, just like all of you guys and ladies, I mean, we just want to go out and be around other people, and we only put 4 chairs out there, and on Saturday, which, we didn't do a stitch of business, but they came by to say hi, and that was a good thing.
So like setting up kind of a curbside pickup or lounge area, what other new approaches are you guys taking to when your business reopens or thinking about taking? Chris, did you have anything?
Well, we just kind of were thrown a big curveball this last week. Is that we were the governor for Maryland said that we could reopen and do phase one, and because of the business being so one-on-one, we were looking really good to get the ball rolling. That was supposed to be Friday at 5, and then the mayor of Baltimore said no, we're not opening yet. So it went from being like, okay, this is going to go on for a while, and then all of a sudden it was no, we're ready to go, and then get the rug pulled out from under you again. So I'm still kind of reeling from that a little bit, because I'm like, what just happened, you know? Because I thought we were, because we're kind of in the phase one of things, because the one-on-one approach. I mean, we can do the curbside stuff and everything, but it is such a personal business, and I mean, look, I think that's I know that's the part that I love about this, is being able to have a conversation with your clients and everything like that. You know, we're still in the waiting pattern, really, until we can kind of because when we open, it's probably going to go like kind of back to normal fairly quickly, because we'll be back to the one-on-one stuff. So I'm still, I thought I was going to be open on Friday. Friday night was supposed to be the time, and we started scheduling stuff for Saturday, and had to go and close it, and had to close it off, because the same thing. You don't want to be the guy that causes something, you know what I mean? And you just don't want to be in that scenario. But I'm also in a part of town where I'm surrounded by a lot of great restaurants that are all closed, and my block is like a ghost town. It's very strange. It's very strange when you when you see that. So we wait. That's all I can do. I'm waiting, and it's like, and then I hope that when it opens, for us, we've been working for the last 2 years on. We doubled the size of our shop, and we did. I mean, I went all in with everything in the shop, and was preparing everything to be ready for spring 2020, and definitely did not see this coming. So I feel like I'm hoping that we're just holding the pause button, and when it gets to be time, we can kind of get back to it at whatever speed that's going to take. I don't think it's going to be instantly what it was, but yeah, when things are ready to open, I think we're going to be, in a situation where we can start seeing clients, because we are sitting on a lot of clothes that are for people that are waiting to deliver, and we had a lot of weddings that were postponed and everything. That was, another piece of all of it that we're definitely feeling from, but we're still in a waiting pattern here.
Now, has anyone done at-home consultations or virtual consultations during this pandemic?
I haven't.
Nah.
I've done a few virtual consultations. We've sold stuff, but it is it might have taken 3 virtual consultations to do a 45-minute in-person consultation. It's we've gotten stuff accomplished, but it takes a little bit longer to do. And I will say that the customer engagement is not as easy as it is face-to-face. And I think that when people do come into the store, they want to just feel comfortable. And one of the things that what we're going to do is not only mask, but also we're going to both go to the clean station and both sanitize our hands, both not only us but also the client.
Is that the new handshake?
Right?
No, it's the elbow.
Not even the elbow.
No.
No, I mean, think about where you sneeze. You sneeze into your elbow now.
Yeah,
I don't want to pass it on to anybody. But I love that, Chris. That's a great idea. That could be the new handshake. Hey, welcome.
Let's go wash our hands together.
Exactly.
So now, when you have a new customer, when everything reopens and you're measuring, is anyone gonna wear masks, gloves, any new approaches that you're taking to measuring clients?
We're mandated. You're not allowed into any establishment in the state of Rhode Island without a mask on.
Yeah, that's
Same.
in Maryland too. Yeah.
you know, a lot of clothiers have been taught to measure from behind a guy. I measure in front of him because I want to have that direct eye contact with him, and I want to have that conversation. And yet, I'm nervous too. I mean, our job is to make people feel at ease and feel great about what they're getting themselves into right now. So it's very hard to do it with this freaking thing over my face, you know. But I have a lot of them. You know, every client that walks in the door, if they don't have a mask, they're getting one from us. You know, so it's a mandatory thing, and we all have to get used to it. And it's going to go on for over a year. There's no getting around that. I mean, this pandemic is not going away. I mean, let's be realistic with all of us. You know, we're all adults. We're all smart people. It's not going away until they get a vaccine. And I can promise you, you know, with all the clients that I have that are in the medical world, this isn't happening for 18 months. So we got to get our shit together and figure it out, because there's no choice. I mean, this is how we have to live. So let's make the best of it. I mean, we're starting to make funny masks now. You know, I've been using all my shirt fabric, you know. We do a lot of bespoke shirts. So I have racks and racks and racks and racks, kind of like what Peter and Jeff have behind them. I have that in shirts as well, you know. And we've been cutting it all up and making really great quality, you know, nothing made in China or India fabric. It's all Italian and Swiss cottons from Alumo, and they feel great and blah, 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 blah. But at least you're going to feel comfortable in the mask if you have to wear one. So it's an added benefit. In addition to that, like for us, we're doing, when someone walks in the door and they want to buy some shirts, we're making a mask out of every shirt that they do. That's the new tie for us. Okay. You know, Jeff here is the one that's so well dressed out of all of us. Okay. He's got a tie on. He looks like he's ready to crush it and do business. We're in a much more casual environment, albeit I wear a jacket for everything. You know, I don't wear a tie so much. So I don't have that extra added piece to sell. So let me give away what cost me $15, because I don't like to give away my product to my clients. I'm not one of those guys that, you know, buy 10 shirts, get one free, or a baker's dozen, you know, 12 and get a 13th one free. We don't do anything for free. That's, you know, why do that when they're going to be buying our, oops, sorry about that, folks. We don't want to do any of that. You know, we want to make sure that everybody's buying our merchandise. So if we can give them something that costs us a minimal amount of money to make a mask, that's a nice thing. It's a nice gesture. And, you know, we've got now contracts to make masks for their companies. Now it's another revenue source. So we just got a contract for 1,000 masks. You know, and at $15 a piece, that's $15,000. You know, that's 3 suits or 6 suits or 10 suits, however you sell your stuff. But it's money coming in. It's not, I don't want to be in the mask business by any means. But we're forced to. That's the new way of doing business. I'm not going to say new normal, because it's never going to be normal for me to do that.
So how do you guys think overall that this pandemic, what permanent effects do you think it will have on our business, and how has it changed our business?
Well, you know, I got to tell you that even before the start of the year, I was telling people I just want to make it through 2020, because anytime you hit an election year, people get a little skittish, and, you know, there's always, you know, another hill to climb in terms of selling people, because they don't really know what's going to be happening. And in addition to that too, they're hit with a lot of information, positive, negative, whatever, you know, so it puts people a little bit more on edge. You know, I think you throw an uncertain economic outlook into this, and, you know, we could be in for, you know, a good long haul. I heard Len Logsdale a few weeks ago saying that it's going to take him 1.5 years to get back to where he was. You know, that's New York City. I don't know if that would affect us in that manner, but I think, you know, things might get a little bumpy coming out here, and, you know, all we can do is just batten down the hatches and work harder and really, you know, stay in front of those customers and keep calling them and letting them know that we're here.
You know, one of the things that I personally feel, and I feel lucky that we have this opportunity, is that, you know, when someone says to you, you know, what kind of store do you have? I call it a luxury lifestyle store because, you know, we used to be known as a suit shop. And I don't consider myself a suit shop anymore because we do a lot of extremely expensive sportswear. So, you know, for those, you know, maybe like yourself, Jeff, is to start proposing making more sporty clothes. I'm sure you could probably cut a hell of a jean in there, you know, get some of that Laura Piana denim flour and make, you know, $1,500 jeans where you're not going to be making as many suits per se. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of guys that are not going back to the office this summer. Now, this summer's going to suck. I mean, if I'm putting it real blatant, I mean, who wants to wear a jacket in the summer anyway? It's hot. I mean, I wear one every single day. I ride my scooter to work to keep myself a little cool, but it sucks. It sucks wearing it. You know, it's 100% humidity and it's 100 degrees outside. I mean, I'm sure it's like that in Maryland and Rochester and also down in Chicago. At least you guys get some wind off the lakes where it's stagnant air for us. So, I mean, start to sell more relaxed clothing. Companies are going to be not having as many people come back to the office. There's going to be a lot more of this type of thing. And I'm doing a presentation this afternoon all about first impressions on Zoom. You know, and I wrote a whole thing about this stupid stuff, which I don't like, but you know, this is a reality. You know, the other fun thing that we're doing is we're doing this. We're doing personalized sanitizer. So I'm getting 10,000 of these made up.
That's awesome.
Giving them out to all of our clients. You know, I'm spending a lot more money than I'm making right now, but with the hopes of, you know, keeping people, you know, this is going to stay on your desk. You know, it's going to be in your car. They're going to read it like, oh, Mark Allen Fine Clothiers, great. Oh, they're the ones who saved my life. I don't know, just kidding. You know, I got to have a fun time with this whole thing.
So one thing that was gaining traction before the pandemic was the athleisure style of clothing. I know at Adrian Jules, we released in 2020 a jogger style trouser, a cargo trouser, and a bomber jacket to keep up with the athleisure trend. Do you guys see that becoming more popular because people are working from home?
I personally think that
He's just got pants on.
I think that the two things that are going to come out of this are a few different things. One, I think that, like I said before on a couple other panelists, that the competition might have been here, but after this is going to shrink down. And I think that's going to give us a huge opportunity to grab more of that market share, not only in within 30 miles, but even within that 60-mile radius. I also think that I'm a believer that businesses, I think, are thinking they might be getting, like, for example, if they're going to remodel the showroom or they're going to remodel their office, is that they might be thinking about getting a couple different quotes. So I think that the importance of clients' images is going to be at an all-time high. The jeans and the polo is not going to fly anymore. People can't go into an office or have a Zoom meeting or like a financial advisor. They might have been able to before get away with that jeans and polo, but not anymore because of everything that happened. Running a business is not, it's a serious thing now. So I feel like people are going to be dressing up more than ever before. So I think the trend of it now has moved more into more of a formal and dressing up versus the more casual side of the business. And I think it's because there's going to be so much more competition out there than there was before.
Well, guys, we only have a few minutes left. So I wanted to thank everyone for being involved on the panel. If you guys had any last pieces of advice that you would give to other clothiers, men's shops out there, we'd take that now.
One of the things I wanted to say was that you guys were the talk of having people clean out their closet and being able to do that. We started a nonprofit organization years ago. It's called Sharp Dressed Man, and we recycle suits to dress guys for job interviews. And we dress about 2,000 guys a year right now. And we're a 501c3. We were just able to go and hire an executive director about 6 months ago, and we're gonna grow the organization. We have it in Baltimore and we have it in LA right now, and been really trying to fine tune that whole thing, and then would want to go and bring that to other cities. And what you're seeing with having people clean out their closets and that goodwill that brings. It's something where it's like we've been doing it for years, and it really helps a lot of people. And I would love to, just if you're interested in it, check it out. It's sharpdressman.org, and it's something we would like to grow in other cities, but we would need people that know about the clothing business to be a part of that. So if you check it out, and let me know if that's something you're interested in.
Cool. Cool.
Great. Well, thank you guys. And if anyone does need masks, you can contact me. We do have some. We made PPE during the past few months at Adrian Jewels. So my email is alex@adrianjewels.com. And thank you all so much for being involved in this panel. And good luck to everyone on the reopening.
Good luck, everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Yep. See you. Bye-bye.